Let me tell you the next thing families say to me all the time. Coach, we haven't heard anything yet from the college coaches. We've sent the emails, but no one's replied. And we're waiting to see if a coach reaches out. And that waiting creates anxiety. And parents start wondering if something's wrong, athletes start to lose confidence, and recruiting starts to feel out of their control. That's exactly why Step 3 exists. And in the last video, we covered Step 2, researching schools and programs, and how to build that realistic school list. This video is Step 3, and it's from my book, The Athletic Recruiting Roadmap. Step 3 answers a critical question. And once you know where you fit and which schools make sense, how do you actually start that communication and that conversation? And if we haven't met, I'm Keith Mondillo. I'm in my 31st year as a college basketball head coach and NCAA director of athletics. And I've read tens of thousands of recruiting emails and had thousands of conversations with prospective student athletes. And I can tell you this with absolute certainty, that most athletes don't struggle with recruiting because coaches aren't watching. They struggle because they don't know how to communicate. And here's the problem. Families believe recruiting starts when a coach reaches out. And that's not how it works. At most levels, especially Divisions 2 and 3, recruiting starts when the athlete introduces himself. When families wait, coaches fill their recruiting boards. Roster spots disappear and opportunities quietly pass by. And waiting feels safe, but waiting costs time. Step 3 is not about mass emails. Coaches know when they're getting mass emailed from a recruiting platform or service. So it's not about copying and pasting messages to hundreds of schools. Step 3 is about purposeful communication, introducing yourself the right way to the right schools at the right time. College coaches want information, they want clarity, and they want athletes who take ownership. When a coach opens an email, they're asking a few simple questions. Who is this athlete? Can they play at our level? Do they fit in our program? And are they serious? Clear, concise communication answers those questions for coaches. Long emails don't help. Hype definitely doesn't help. And then parents emailing coaches, well, that doesn't help either. Clarity does. And this is important. Most emails don't get responses because they're targeting the wrong level, or they provide vague information, or they don't clearly explain why the athlete is reaching out. And coaches are not ignoring athletes, they're just sorting, or they're really busy. And Step 3 helps you communicate in a way that makes sorting easier in your favor. And this is where families misunderstand recruiting. Sending one email is not communication. Recruiting communication is introducing yourself, following up consistently, and asking smart questions while responding professionally. Athletes who understand this build relationships with college coaches, and athletes who don't often feel stuck. And this is why the order matters. Remember, we went over Step 1, which tells you where you fit, and Step 2 tells you who to contact, and Step 3 tells you how to start the conversation. When these steps align, coaches respond more often, conversations feel natural, and recruiting gains momentum. When they don't, communication feels forced and frustrated. And families ask, why aren't coaches calling? Most of the time, the answer is simple. They're waiting for you to introduce yourself the right way. Recruiting rewards athletes who communicate clearly and professionally. And that's what Step 3 teaches. That's exactly why I wrote the Athletic Recruiting Roadmap. The book walks families through this step by step, how to assess where you fit, how to research schools, and how to communicate with college coaches the right way. And if recruiting feels quiet or confused, this book will give you a plan. And in the next video, we'll cover Step 4, where we talk about building exposure and visibility so coaches can actually evaluate you. And remember, we are not a recruiting service. We are an educational organization that guides families through the college athletic process. Confidence comes from clarity, And clarity comes from having a plan. Take care.